Cybernoid was developed by Raphael Kecko, I think. That's right, just a dude. He's known for such hits as Equinox, Exolon, Stormlord, and First Samurai. You remember each of those, yes? And that's how you know Cybernoid is going to be a hit. In fact, Cybernoid was an international hit. Kecko is actually British, so that makes sense. He's from England, and I'm playing the game in America. That's two nations right there. International? Yes. But hit? Says who? Well, Crash Magazine gave it a 96%. A reviewer even said it was fantastic. Who needs 16-bit machines when Hewson and Raphael Kecko, I think, can produce games like this on the 8-bit? Huh? Your Sinclair, another magazine, this one dedicated to the ZX Spectrum, gave it a 9 out of 10. What? Supposedly a different studio was responsible for porting the NES version, so maybe that would explain the difference here. But now I have to check out Cybernoid, the fighting machine on the NES, and see what's up with this 9 out of 10? So as the story goes, the unspecified Federation has just developed a space fighter, and they're looking for a pilot to test out their new ship in some Zog-infested asteroids. What is a Zog, you ask? Evidently it's an alien race that arrives at your storage asteroids where you keep your goodies, I guess. And so while you're on test flight, you can also blast away at some Zog so the Federation can reclaim their goods. The new space fighter you're in is called the Cybernoid. The Cybernoid is controlled with the D-pad, up, down, left, and right, so there's no gas pedal to keep it afloat. The B button shoots your endless supply of laser blasts, and the A button shoots whatever weapon you have selected, and you press select to cycle through those. You'll have a choice between bombs, a genocide missile that exterminates everything on screen, a bunch of bouncing fireballs, and some heat-seeking missiles. There's even a shield you can equip that lets you be immune to damage for a stint. There are 3 total levels, each consisting of several screens complete with Zogs attempting to murder you. At the start, you can select between easy, hard, and what amounts to no thanks. There's not a huge difference between these except for in the speed of the enemies, at least as I was able to find. I even found hard to be easier than easy. See, in hard, these things move slower and let you between them to navigate through. I guess they thought that if you had to modify your movement speed, that would be tougher compared to easy mode where they move as fast as your ship, and it makes getting through here almost impossible. It's kind of stupid. So to get right into it, this game is tough and aggravating. You will die a lot. The silver lining is that you start with a generous 9 lives, and if you do die, you start exactly where you died immediately. Sometimes so quickly you might not even know you died. The bad news is, there's no continues. With just 3 levels and 9 lives, you would think that this is highly doable. And if you do think that, well, you're so wrong. Oh, well, so for starters, you can't shoot beneath you or above you, but enemies constantly come from below you and above you. Secondly, you can't kill everything. Shoot that thing all day. Nope. With everything. Still nope. Thirdly, you get stuck on the ground and can't move at times. Nothing is more rage-inducing. Hit detection is a complete crapshoot. If you're too close to something, you can't hit it. And some things require a specific weapon to explode it. And if you're out of that weapon, nice knowing you, there's no going back. Sometimes enemies die the first time you see them, and then the next time you see them, they're just impervious to whatever you hit them with. It doesn't make any sense. As I mentioned before, you do have some lifelines. The genocide weapon kills everything on screen, although it's limited, but you might want to use that if enemies are coming at you from all directions. You can also use the shield to get past some of the more aggravating sections, but you'll still need a little luck to survive certain areas. Enemies pop in off screen, whizzing all over the place, and sometimes you're just bound to take a hit. This is one of those games where practicing it with a Game Genie a few times, memorizing it as much as you can, is the best way to get good at it. To say some nice things about it, I think it looks okay. Truly, it does remind me of an old-school PC game. It has a good use of color, and I also think the ship maneuvers pretty well. The weapons are decently varied, and the game is pretty liberal with drops, so you won't be without for long. But Cybernoid just lacks that certain level of polish you want for a game as tedious as this. If you are blessed with patience and think you can put in the practice runs required to reach the end, well, power to you. There is a sequel. Cybernoid 2: The Revenge released in 1988, primarily in Europe on the Amiga, Atari ST, Amstrad CPC, Commodore 64, and the ZX Spectrum. It's similar to the first, but looks a little better. It doesn't make enough improvements to really stand apart, sadly. Well, that does it for Cybernoid, the fighting machine on the NES. Keep the Zogs out of your asteroids, and thanks for watching. Also, if you like podcasts, I have a few. Visit polykill.com to learn more.